Right. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for, I think it's our fourth installment of our Walt Wines virtual tastings hosted on our Facebook webpage. Thank you so much for joining us, everyone. This is going to be a fun and different tasting today, as we have a very special guest coming to us from all the way in Arizona. He just got his wines yesterday, and he was so excited that he wanted to join us for this tasting. So for those of you, stay tuned. We'll have him online soon. I wanted to just remind everyone that the wines that we're tasting today are all available on waltwines.com. We've got some incredible specials for those of you who are there. In addition, we have dollar shipping on 3 bottles, so I encourage you to go check those out. But without further ado, it wouldn't be a tasting if I had the owner of the winery here, so I'd love to introduce Kathryn Waltz-Hall. Kathryn, thank you for joining us in your home in Rutherford, California. There you are.
Hey, Jeff. How are you?
Good. I'm in the same boat. How did we plan that so well?
You know, nothing better to do when it's beautiful and warm and sunny out than to have a great glass of Walt Rosé.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just like, it's sunny. It's finally warm. It's springtime here. It's like, it's time to go. So that usually calls for a glass of rosé, especially if you're sitting by the pool, right? That's exactly.
I'm all on it.
Let's do it. So it's been a great, couple weeks, having you on with our tasting. I saw our tasting room was active at the Napa Food Bank. They were in wine inspection.
Yeah, that's actually been so cool because, I think we've got a little wind. I hope that's not me, but no, whatever. Okay. But it's really good because the tasting room is closed. We have all our hospitality staff who their regular jobs. So many of them have been donating their time out in at the food bank here. It's been way fun. And I think actually so many people have told me afterwards, because they got sick, they used their regular time to go do that. That's, as you know, it's one of our policies. But they're going to continue to do it just because they've had such a wonderful time. So it's really been a win-win, I think.
No, for sure. I'm super glad they got out there. I'm glad they used their philanthropic hours so they could get out there and do some good work for others. That's been a really huge part, I think, of the larger, shelter in place. Like, how do we continue to keep people going, and how do we do that? And also, drink a really nice glass of wine at the same time, which I'm fortunate to be able to do. So thank you for that.
Thank you for that. Also, so Jeff, you're not right in Napa all that much. I am, and there are these fabulous Easter eggs that have been painted, wine barrels that have been painted as Easter eggs, and they're all over the valley, and it's just been so fun to see them. We had some, we donated them to the community foundation, and people just really took the bull by the horns, and there's artists everywhere coming out of the corners.
I live in Marin County, and I had friends sending me text messages because they just went on a drive last weekend. They're like, I got to get out, I got to do something. So my friends are just driving up and down the coast with their kids, and they saw I got pictures of different eggs, including the one that Bunny has, right? The big one that the bunny has. So, so I teased it at the beginning. These tastings have been amazing with you, and obviously it's a great way for our audience to just interact with us, to be able to check in with us. We have all these we have all these wines available for people to purchase. I think it's incredible because a lot of our tasting room is now actually taking phone calls. We have so many people are interested. They're actually calling us. So that was a great idea, but I wanted to spice it up a little bit today. This is the launch of our spring wine club for Walt, and I thought it'd be fun to include one of our fans from Arizona who just got his shipment.
Oh my goodness, let me see. Who did you have in mind, Jeff?
Well, funny enough, a friend of mine is also not doing a whole lot because baseball season is currently canceled. So I invited my friend Pedro Gomez from ESPN to join us on the
Hey, Pedro.
Kathryn and Jeff, it's so great to be here. Thank you very much.
Cheers to you.
Also, look, it's Arizona, but we have 75 degrees today. Beautiful for this.
We will come see you as soon as possible.
Yeah, it's not so bad here, but yay. That's good. Yeah.
Yeah, how's everything out in Arizona? How'd the wine shipment go? Did everything go get delivered well?
Absolutely. No issues whatsoever. Came in the morning, was here before 10:30, as promised. And and just well, these days you never know. These days you never know.
Yeah.
So, but it was here at 10:30, as it said. And gosh, enjoying this Pinot of Rosé very much.
By the way, I would just like to do a special cheer to all those people who are making deliveries to our homes, and even more, the biggest shout out of all to all those people who are working on the front lines, saving the people who are sick and in need, and the first responders. So cheers to all of them.
Cheers to everyone.
Kathryn, absolutely agree 100%. And even though baseball is secondary, and I definitely am missing baseball, I am very, very proud of all the people who are out there working and bringing us all the things we need.
I'll bet you're missing baseball. This must be very weird for you.
It is. This would have normally been already the second week of the regular season. The minor league season would have been in play, and I have a son who pitches in the minor leagues. So
Boston.
Yeah, we're definitely missing it as a family.
Oh yeah.
So
did Rio jump in on the wine tasting today? Is he like sitting behind the camera? Because I know he's stuck in a.
He will be. He just got home. He works out with a friend of his, goes to a friend's garage because all the gyms are closed, and works out, still throws 4 times a week. That's my son, Kathryn Rio, who is a minor league pitcher, and hopefully he can get back on the mound at some point this year.
Awesome. Well, I take it if he's pitching, he's social distancing, unless he's pitching within 6 feet. Yeah.
He is 60 feet 6 inches away.
Yeah.
Nice toss, Kathryn.
Yeah. Nice. That's really nice. So
well, I hope your friends and your sports writer buddies are all here today, because I can't wait to see what Twitter blows up on your Pedro at a wine tasting in online with Hall and Walt Wines. So no, it's
you, Jeff, and you know so many of we have mutual friends in the business, so I'm sure we'll both be hearing something.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. The Twitter feed will be good. So I encourage you to all follow Pedro Gomez's Twitter feed or anything that he might be succumbed to as far as posting goes.
well, and I hope people are going to write in questions and stuff.
No, absolutely. So I did want to start the tasting though, since we're here to try some wine. Pedro, I hear you're a fan.
Big fan. If I had to pick one wine over and over consistently that I drink, I would say 90% of what I drink is Pinot Noir.
Woohoo!
Absolutely. It's my all-time favorite. And I love it because it's not heavy, but yet you can still have it with steak. You can have it with a heavy food, and it complements it so well. And I'm probably emptying out my bucket when it comes to terminology that you all are PhDs on.
Actually, that was very impressive. I thought, Jeff, didn't you think?
Yeah, no, I think you're doing great. Let's have him lead the tasting, shall we?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So I would like to pour you a glass of wine. So it's going to be a reach. We've got to go first. First, we're going to go to Napa to Kathryn. You ready? So this is our
so ready.
Gaps Crown Pinot Noir. All right. Got it.
Got it.
All right. Good. Okay. Do you want me
to? I'm ready. Let's go.
Over the top. All right. There we go. All right. So this is coming at you. All right. How's it? Is that enough?
Very good. Very nice. Thank you. Oh, nice pour. Thank you.
Oh, fun. I may have met you when I was a bartender at Morton's Steakhouse, so I think I know exactly, where the
you may have heard me say, Jeff, a little more.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Heavier pour. Is that the word? Yeah.
Give me the executive pour.
Yeah.
Executive pour, yes. The friend pour, for sure. More cheers. So this is Gaps Crown. Gaps Crown is located in the Petaluma Wind Gap. It's about 8 miles from our Bob's Ranch Vineyard, which is our estate in the Wind Gap area, named after Kathryn's father. This is a wine of big flavor and texture, especially for Pinot Noir. So you were talking about wines that may stand up to something bigger, like a steak or a heartier meal. This is definitely a wine I would point you to. It ages in barrel for 10 months at 40% new French oak. And what I like about the wine is it has a polish of oak integration. It has a real intensity of fruit, but a regalness in the mid palate, and the finesse is all in the power and how you actually bring that wine together. So
I laugh, of course, because you sound like you know what you're saying, which I know you do. But we go back, Jeff. We go back.
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And your job now is just to say that you love this, Pedro. Yeah.
Oh, well, I know that. That's not, I've had it, so I know in the past.
Yeah.
Right?
This is really, for me, this is like the Pinots that I love this Pinot. I mean, it is so big. It's so muscular. It just, it has so much going for it. And it's the kind of Pinots that I really grew up with, very California. I mean, I grew up around here in the wine country, and this is the style of Pinots that we make. I mean, if we make them really, really well. And I think that this is very much like it. This is, I remember when I was a kid, I just, a little baseball thing. My baseball knowledge goes is a lot more shallow, very shallow. But my brother used to take me down to the games when we were kids, and that was before the current park at Oracle Park. It was Candlestick.
Of course.
And so he would take me on. There was the thing called Ladies' Night, so he would always take me because it was free if you took a woman.
Oh.
And so so we got in, and then you'd sit out in the bleachers, and there was so much fog that you couldn't even see the pitch. Swear. I mean, it was just crazy, but we had so much fun because we had so much wine. It was lovely.
There's no better way to enjoy any sporting event, but especially baseball, because baseball allows you to have a conversation. Yeah. And so if you can have wine at a ballpark, now I can't when I'm working, but when I go as a fan, this is what I drink. And so many people are like, oh, I'll have a beer. I'm like, I'm going to go find wine.
Yeah.
And I'll get wine, and it's just great at a game, like I said, because baseball is the only sport that allows you to have a conversation. There's time between pitches. There's time between innings. That's not always the case in the other sports.
And do you know what the two best baseball parks are, according to Wine Business Monthly, to drink wine?
I've got to hope that it's Oracle, where the Giants play.
Okay. You got one.
And I'm going to guess maybe Seattle, because of its closeness to Oregon, and Washington also grows.
I'm going to go with Kathryn. Do you want to try to save him there? It's something that's really close by to his place.
Yeah. Oh, to his place?
Chase?
Yeah. Really? So it's not Oracle Park. I figured it would
Oracle
be.
Park's number one. So that's
okay.
The stadium, and that's proximity to wine country, right?
Oh yeah.
And then the second would be Chase Field in Arizona. Where
Chase Field?
Yes.
Really?
Or not?
Oh.
Who
well, now, okay, I have a producer friend of mine who you know very well, Jeff, Charlie Moynihan. Yep. He and I go to games on our own when we're not working, and we absolutely have a couple of glasses of wine while we watch the D-backs and whomever. Mm-hmm. And I had no idea they were number 2 on the list. That is good to know. We always go to the wine bar there at the Audi Club, so good to hear.
Yeah. So Kathryn, I will be beelining as soon as I can get in an airplane to get our wines into Chase Park, just so you know.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Really?
Yes, because I have not been able to purchase while there.
Yes. Yeah. Well, it's a small, we don't make a lot. So, we have to look for those passionate friends. And then that's all the wine that we have.
I'll get you in touch with the D-backs team president, Derek Hall.
Derek Hall is his name?
Yes.
Huh? Oh.
Well, there's a connection right there.
Yeah.
He might be kin. Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So,
I have a. Oh.
No. Go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was just
screaming right now. People are.
I have a trivia question about the Giants that I've just been itching to ask. Pedro.
Here's where I'm going to show my ignorance, but
no, you're going to know this. I bet you know this. So, what is the name? There's a fellow who was an umpire. He comes from San Francisco, and was one of the longest standing, best known umpires, retired not too long ago. Well, I think within the last 10 years. so I guess that's sort of long ago. His father was also in the baseball world by the same name. And his father's claim to fame was that he was a scout for the Giants and discovered Willie Mays.
Oh, you are killing me. I can see his face, by the way, like an Italian name,
It is an Italian.
I know, I see his face.
Well, it's actually, well, it's actually an Irish name, but he's Irish. He's my uncle. The guy was my uncle. Isn't that cool? His name is
Eddie Montague. And he went to Sarah High School, I believe.
He did.
I know who it is. I just can't come up with his
Eddie
name.
Eddie Montague is his name.
Ed Montague.
Montague. Yeah.
Is that the best? Yeah.
I could see everything about him. I even knew the high school. I get partial credit.
Oh, that's so good. So good.
Kathryn, next time he's in town to cover the Giants, I want you to bring your trivia, and we will go to Shanghai Kelly's. May not be the wine we're looking for, but that's where those usually go down, right?
All right.
That's where the Mensa Society meets there.
Society.
And Jeff is our president.
Oh yeah, right. Okay, Phil. I don't think I can get in there.
So we have questions coming in, and so one of the questions came in is to Pedro, and then I'll go to Kathryn with the same question. What is your favorite team to cover? What's your favorite baseball team to cover?
Oh boy. I actually don't have a favorite team, as you know, Jeff, because when you're in the business, you lose that. I will say this, the Giants, because I've spent so much time there, they have always been very, very good to me, whether it was, Murph in the clubhouse or Larry Bear or Bruce Bochy. There was one guy that wasn't as nice. His name, he was a left fielder. He wore number 25.
But not to be too specific.
He wasn't always the nicest, but overall, I still have lifetime friendships with people who worked for the Giants or played for the Giants back then. Benji Molina, JT Snow, Jason Christensen. These are people I still stay in touch with. And even others that I may not see if we run across each other, like Kirk Reeder or somebody. It's always very, very good. And I guess because of the amount of time I spent with the Giants, that was always a good time.
So Kathryn, same question to you. What's your favorite ballpark to visit?
Oh, absolutely San Francisco, the Giants. I'm a fan. Yeah. Yeah. And you too, aren't you, Jeff?
Oh yeah. Well, so I wore an Oakland shirt because Pedro covered the A's for
7 years.
7 years. And I know, Kathryn, you were born, so there was a lot of brown nosing going into my outfit today.
Yeah. Actually, you also, I think, Pedro, are friends with Canseco.
I went to high school with Jose Canseco.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have seen it because he was with the Rangers years ago. Yeah.
Had a ball hit off his head, go over the fence for a home run there.
That's crazy.
That was my favorite moment of Jose Canseco.
I don't think you're alone there, Jeff. I think that's a favorite of a lot of people.
All right, well, I'm going to steer this back to wine. The next wine that we're going to taste is from Shea Vineyard, if that's all right. And so this is a wine that we are super fortunate to have. So Green Label, Oakland, we can keep going that. That's also for the Oregon Ducks, by the way. Kathryn, I'm going to start with you right over the top.
Thank you.
Ready?
Very much.
Okay. And there we keep going.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I'm ready.
Okay. Don't too fast, man. Come on.
Come on.
All right, we're going.
Give me a good pour.
All right.
Good pour.
I got you.
There we go.
You good?
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect. Excellent. So again, this is the 2017 Shea Vineyards. This is from the Willamette Valley. So we had a wine from Sonoma Coast previously that had a lot of power, elegance, a lot of flavor in this wine. And the Willamette Valley is known for more delicate flavors. It tends to be more red in fruit. There's a lot of terroir. So we're going to have a lot of that valley floor or that forest floor in the wine.
It's delicate like you, Jeff?
Just like me.
You're a delicate flower. You're a delicate
People
flower.
always say that. Yeah.
I am. Yeah. It's between you and Dominic last week, man. This is going well for myself. But no, so it's from Dick Shea Vineyard. So Dick Shea was a pioneer in the Willamette Valley. It's about 45 minutes south of the town of Portland, one of the only great towns to not have a baseball team. And what it typifies for me is that really pleasurable elegance that you can have through a softer expression of Pinot Noir is the best way I would say it. So, Kathryn, what is your take on this wine?
Yeah, I have to say I am really more and more a fan of the Shea Pinot Noir, or just as time goes by, I love this style more and more. I mean, what I grew up in was more of the sort of the Gap's Crown style of Pinot, and I then have been loving the ones that come down from Santa Rita Hills and the Clos Pepri that we make. But the elegance of this and the minerality on the Shea is just really appealing, and honestly more and more so. It has this sort of old world quality to it that I really love.
More in that French style for sure. Pedro, a mineral is a rock. I
have a lot of rocks back there. There's a lot of rocks right up there.
That is the country's largest city-owned park, right?
Yes, it is. South Mountain Preserve.
Yeah.
Largest park in a city in the country. Absolutely correct. Wow, look at you with the Arizona knowledge.
Yeah, really.
Who knew? Who knew how well-rounded he was?
So what is your take on this wine? So clearly I liked these wines for this tasting because they are so different on the palate. So they're really easy to blind taste. You could actually taste these differences. So pick your favorite. What did you like about this wine?
I agree. They are. And look, I love Pinots, so I've tasted it. I love both of them immensely. I cannot get into the technical talk like you can. I just know what I like. Seriously, I know what I like. And these are both two of my favorites, the Shea and the Gap's Crown. I did have a question. How did Gap's Crown get its name?
So we don't own the vineyard. So Gap's Crown lives in an area called the Petaluma Wind Gap, which is a connection between the Bodega Bay.
Gotcha.
Just
Birds,
west.
come on, I know that.
Birds, yes, pop culture. There you go. That's where the Birds was filmed, and so it connects that break in the coastal mountain ranges, and it comes down and into the San Pablo Bay, which is the northern part of the San Francisco Bay, and it's that connection of wind and fog that give it the cooler environment that we really adore about Pinot Noir from the Sonoma coast.
But I would agree that this one, the Shea, is it's a little different. You can definitely tell the difference.
Yep.
And the other one's a little, it's not heavy by any means, but it has a little more muscle. Like if it was a 1968 GTO or something, it has some muscle. And this is, I would say this is, well, like, a Cutlass 442 or something. That's.
Oh my God.
I'm going to give you an analogy.
We got on right now. This is
wow.
This I would say is much more of a touring car, something that you're going to get out and let's hit the road and just cruise.
Okay.
And that's what I would go with here.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love that.
Well, I can't get into the kind of talk you guys get into.
But, actually too, I would reinforce what you just said in terms of if you look at the color on the Shea just tells you even before you taste it that it's going to be more elegant, lighter. I mean, it has so much flavor, but the color is just it's lighter. It's so you can.
No, there he is.
Well, it is true. Oh, I wasn't supposed to do that?
No, you're fine.
Yes, you are.
You're our first celebrity on the new series. So Pedro,
by the way, your bar
so
is extremely low if I'm considered a celebrity.
So we started yesterday by inviting people who aren't necessarily in our world of wine to start joining us for these tastings. And so the first one was launched yesterday on our Baca Wine site, and we had Carlos, who may have worked for us in the past and may be good friends with Kathryn's daughter and family, but clearly is the neophyte in wine. We had him on, great energy, and now we have you coming to us today.
So good.
Bringing us up quite a level, at least for Walt Wines.
Oh my gosh. You have got to come back. This is just so much fun, Pedro.
I got to be up there. My wife has been to your place and I haven't yet.
Yeah. Did we have a picture of your wife here, or can we show it?
Did, and I will try to show it. It's
oh, this will go well.
The mystery of Zoom might be over right here, but we're gonna try it anyways. So this
is in the white.
10 years ago. This is so Sandy's right in front of me, just to my right, I think, right?
Yep, and she's wearing white. Yes, the white top.
This is her ladies' trip through Napa Valley. This is before we had the St. Helena winery. This is before I think even Walt was even a thing. It was just us and her girls, and we had a good time in the caves at Rutherford. So yeah, that was a good time. So you missed that clearly. And
well, it's a girls' trip, and I'm not a girl, so
yeah.
But I've had Charlie. I'm pretty sure I've had. Who's another? I've had a number of people come through from ESPN, a lot through Joe. That's set it up. So I know that we hosted Colleen Dominguez. I hosted her.
Probably Big Joe Tarosi,
Charlie,
Dion Angelov.
Well, that's the Morton's crew. So Kathryn, these are the people that I used to work with. That actually.
Tommy Kent.
Probably checking in right now.
That is where Jeff and I met 15 years ago. That's where we met.
Wow.
Jeff used to wear a tuxedo with a bow tie.
Oh yeah. Oh, he still does all the time.
That's just for Veronica, right?
Right.
Actually. So happy birthday to my wife. I probably should say that.
Oh yeah. Happy birthday, Veronica.
Oh, you buried the lead.
Yeah. I did. Well,
Happy birthday.
I'm a journalist. Thank you. So a couple other questions I wanted to get in before our time is up here. So Kathryn, what's your favorite Pinot from outside the Sonoma County? So we are drinking Shea, so I'll give you that softball, but we have one.
Yeah. Well, I think it's an interesting question because it has been we just lost Pedro.
We lost you, man.
Pedro, come back.
I'm here. I hope. There I am.
Yeah. So actually, I really love the ones that come down from the Santa Rita area. I love Clopepe. Just because they're so rich and so luscious.
Yep.
But as I said, more and more, I am really moving in the Shea direction, I must say.
Pedro, you're not drinking our wines?
Yeah, I outside of the Californias, you mean? Sure. I gotta go Shea. I have to.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I think so.
No doubt.
So
that come on, that's too easy. That's a slam dunk. Mm-hmm. That's Steve Nash to Amari Stoudemire, and Stoudemire just boom.
Oh, I like John Stockton, or Steph Curry, but those are.
Oh, Steve Nash though, come on.
Wow.
Santa Clara University, come on.
So I thought a really touching question. So both of you travel a lot for business. Kathryn, we appreciate all the work that you do, and I follow you tirelessly, sending you notes, Pedro, when I'm in town. So what's your favorite city, and which restaurant do you miss the most?
My favorite city is always San Francisco, honestly. Whenever when I fly back into San Francisco Airport, I think how lucky I am to be here. It's a drive to get up to Napa. Napa's a little remote, but there's just nothing like San Francisco, which combines the sort of it's a city and it's vibrant, and yet it still just is such a community. And the restaurant. Restaurants. I'm gonna have to go with I love the local restaurants up here in Napa. I just I think that I'm really enjoying this. I love Charter Oak. Can I say one more?
Sure.
And that is Ellies is becoming a great favorite of mine. It's down in Dallas. It's this, Craig and I are building a condo a condo is being built and we're going to move into it soon. And the Ellies is this restaurant's in this building that's just, the food is just so comfortable and good to eat, just not complicated. At the same time, it's really very elegantly prepared. So I like, there's two.
All right, that's good. So by the way, Pedro, we have a hotel in Dallas that we just finished that the Halls own, and they have a wonderful restaurant called Ellies. So whenever you're in town, make sure you give us a call.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Give me your favorite town and your favorite restaurant. What do you miss? Where do you miss?
Gosh, I travel so much. I would say I absolutely love going to Chicago. I love it. It's just a spectacular city full of energy. You get off the plane, you feel the energy. The people are they're in your face, but in a very good way. They're not going to take any grief or gruff from you, and they're going to put it right back at you, but it's all genuine. It's not an ugliness to it. And, you know, it's hard to go against Chicago Cut.
There it is.
It's a great spot right on the Chicago River.
Mm-hmm.
I've been there several times, and it's a steakhouse, you know, and it's but it's just a spectacular setting, room, bar, place, everything about it. Everything.
Last time I was there, I was with our regional manager Chad, and we had a bottle of Kathryn Hall. Actually, it was a song,
nice.
So that was pretty cool.
So I've been there.
Yes, and we have had dinner. So I'm gonna give the last question to Pedro, since we may have you back, but we'll see how it goes. So what baseball player represents Gap's crown, and what baseball player represents Shea?
Ooh, wow.
Oh,
is
those
this
are
your
tough.
question?
Mm-hmm.
Did somebody send that in?
That is a question from the audience, so you have to answer it.
All right. I'll go with the latter first. I'll say Shea is somebody who is sleek, fast, just somebody who does a lot of things very, very well. I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to go with Cody Bellinger.
Cody Bellinger, a Dodger.
On the Shea.
Dodger.
Yeah, and then on the Gap's crown, it's so high end. I think I'm going to go with the best player in the game, and Mike Trout.
Mike Trout. All right. Okay. Well, hopefully both those guys are.
Wow. Great question and great answers.
Well, I already compared Gap's crown to like a 68 Pontiac GTO, which is a great muscle car.
Pretty fabulous.
Well, so there's a lot of other questions. So I think what I'm going to do, Pedro, is I might ask you some questions on Twitter a little later.
Absolutely.
That's all right, because I don't know if we're going to be able to get to these in the time period. Kathryn, did you want to say anything before we sign off?
Just wine is so about sharing time with people you enjoy, with your family, your loved ones, friends and to be friends. And for me, this has just been that. It has been such a pleasure to have you on this, Pedro. I just, what a just great experience it's been for me, and I'll bet for everybody who's been watching.
Well, I know it's been a great experience for me. And you know what? Your analogy about wine being about sharing and just being able to be with other people while you drink it, that's what baseball is.
Yeah.
And we at least have one of those two variables right now in wine. Hopefully we'll have baseball back and be able to just mesh them back together once again, because
May
it's
it
not
be
just,
so.
yes, it's not just beer in baseball, it's wine in baseball.
Absolutely.
Here, here.
Well, I wanted to thank you guys for coming. Obviously, Kathryn, thanks for putting up with a good friend of mine. And Pedro, thank you for being a friend of mine for the last 15 years. And I just want to say to everyone in the audience, we'll be back on Thursday. We will be tasting some terrific wines, a Chardonnay from the Sonoma coast. And we're going to actually do an audience pick for the other wine we're going to do. So stay tuned for that. And also, if you wanted to order anything from whatwines.com, the website's open. We have a team of people shipping wines. Pedro, thank you for coming on. I'd love to
Jeff,
see you soon. I miss you, man. And Kathryn,
I miss you
as well. Thank you guys for coming. Cheers to both of you.
Cheers.
Cheers.